title of my speech is Perseverance. So everyone's had hard times. You can picture yourself in a hard situation. How you come out of that situation sometimes builds your character and sometimes defines who you are. When you get into difficult situations, you can become stronger after, you can let it consume you. If you think about one of those situations in your mind right now, did it make you stronger? Did you just give up? And did it actually change you on the inside? So, this speech is about myself, but I also want to introduce this little guy. This is a depiction of a Buddhist monk named Daruma, and he was a 1,500-year-old monk who had a lot of perseverance. It was some said that he would meditate for so long that his arms, the blood vessels in his arms and legs, caused him to lose his arms. So he sits here, but he's actually just in his robes wrapped up. So he represents perseverance, goal setting. As you can see, he doesn't get knocked down. You can move him any which way and he'll always turn straight back up. What you can do is you fill in one eye when you set a goal. You write the goal or what you want to accomplish on the back. You put it somewhere in your house where you can visibly see it all the time. And you think about accomplishing that goal that you wrote on the room. When you accomplish that goal, you fill in the other eye and it's complete. You can do this with other goals, heavy goals in your life. So this is Drew. So, a little bit about myself. So I actually grew up in Maine, and one of the first big problems I had when I was in high school was where I was going to go to college. And my dad is a very successful accountant. He's an owner of an accounting firm, so he's well off financially. So I one time asked my dad, what's your price range for me to sign up for schools? I want to start the application process. He just smiled at me with a Budweiser in his hand, swigged it, and he says, whatever you can afford, son. He did it completely himself, and he says, whatever you want to do. So I did what anybody would do. I griped a little bit, but then I sucked it up. I got 2 full-time jobs, I worked 80-hour weeks, and I went to school full-time. I have to say that I didn't sleep very much during that time. So I went to a community college, and I made the most of it. I actually joined the Student Senate, and I was the vice president of the Student Senate at the time. And one of the items that came across our desk was a scholarship to Ireland. And I says, I would love to go to Ireland. So I signed up for it, filled out the essay, filled out the application, and I got it. And all I had to do was pay the airfare. So I paid the airfare and went to school in Ireland for an entire semester of school, all expenses paid except the plane trip. While I was out there, I was only 19 years old in a foreign country with no friends, family, or anybody around me. I had to make do with what I had to do. I had to walk 2 miles to buy groceries. I didn't have any transportation. I had to memorize bus routes. I had to memorize everything that I could and had to attend school taking full-time college classes. So it was big for me at 19 years old in a foreign country. Many of us in the United States have never even made it out of the country. So next, when I came back from Ireland, I actually moved to Florida. I moved here alone, and I moved here for a girl. I found a job. I had the same job that I had up there. I was just working in a different building down here. When I was down here, I gained a lot of weight. I actually weighed 265 pounds. I was a big guy.
Wow.
And I set a goal, and I attained that. I lost 70 pounds, and I weighed 195 pounds. I did a lot of running, just eating healthy, so I accomplished that goal. And now I'm running long distance, so the marathon running, that's what I'm getting into. At 23 years old, just a couple of years ago, I purchased a house. I set a goal, and I wanted to purchase a house. To keep my life on track the way I want it to do, I want to form a real estate empire. I want to be able to own houses, to establish renters, to have a sustainable income. When I'm ready to retire, liquidate it all, and I'll have millions and millions in liquidated assets. So, in purchasing a house, there comes other problems. As anybody that's a homeowner knows. Well, I have this pond in my backyard that was overgrown, and it was kind of a water-filled swamp area. So I bought a little John boat for $100, and I was washing it because it was nasty, and it fell in my water main. It broke it, snapped it off below the shut-off for the house.
Oh,
so water squirting everywhere, and I had to go to the shut-off that the water company uses to shut it off for your entire house to shut it off. And at first I didn't have the right tools, so I grabbed a screwdriver and actually broke it, and it was a long story, but water was squirting up everywhere. It was ridiculous. So I learned plumbing, and I established myself as a reasonable plumber in fixing that situation. Next thing that happened, a tropical storm came through, and whoever designed my house had a little leak that didn't caulk it just right. Well, gallons of water came streaming into my house. So I actually tore down the entire wall, replaced the window, redid all the insulation. I had put in 4 studs worth of stuff, and all that came out was a little pile of kindling. So there was a lot of work that needed to be done. And that same tropical storm, it blew down my fence. And I owned this pretty little dog, and she would run into the neighbor's yard, poop, pee, whatever, so I had to seal it up because she also had cats. So I built the fence myself, replaced everything to make sure that it's good in my backyard. And I like to do everything myself. So I learned how to build the fence, all the plumbing myself. A little after that, my water heater popped at the beginning of this year. So I had to rip up the whole floor, and I learned how to solder and plumb the entire water heater system as well. And then this summer, my AC unit broke. Obviously, I'm not qualified as the AC unit, so I had to hire someone to do that. So my present goal, so this is what I've accomplished in the past, I recently got my bachelor's in information technology security management, and I got accepted to USF in their graduate program in cybersecurity. And that's what I'm going to be pursuing this spring. So these are the goals that I have, and ultimately I want to work for the FBI, CIA, NSA, any government agency doing cyber intelligence or counter cyber terrorism is my ultimate goal.
Wow.
So there's an old Japanese proverb that says if you fall down 7 times, get up 8. Become stronger when you come back and learn from your mistakes. So never give up on your goals. If you put your mind to it, you can get through anything, and anything is possible.
Thank you.